Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ebony Janice. I go by Ebony Janice, which means that you should call me Ebony Janice. And this is Theology in Plain Clothes. Today we are talking about sin. We'll figure out the title by the time I post this. Something that the church has dressed up so heavy that you can barely recognize it anymore is the concept, the idea of sin. Now, I know the minute I even say the word, your whole body does something. Your shoulders might come up. Somebody's pastor might pop up in your head. Because you were taught that sin is the bad thing that you did. It is the list, the behavior, the thing you confess on Sunday, so that you don't burn on the other side of Friday. But what I need you to know is that that was never sin. Not at the root. Somewhere along the way, sin got handed to you as a behavior management system, a way to keep you watching your own hands instead of watching your own life. But sin is not a list of bad behaviors. Sin is the failure to fully inhabit your particular calling, your particular humanity, your particular purpose, to not show up as actual you. Sit in that with me. Because if God is the animating force inside everything, inside you, inside this tradition, inside last night's stream, the holiest thing you could ever do is become fully who God was being when God made you. Specifically you. Not the acceptable version, not the smaller version that keeps the peace. You and all your strange, particular, unrepeatable detail. So sin is not when you step out of line. Sin is when you step out of yourself. Sin is every time you make yourself smaller than you were made to be and call it humanity. Sin is every time you abandon your own knowing to keep somebody comfortable and call it love. Sin is the long, quiet, respectable practice of not becoming. Huh? And here it is. I need you to know this, even from this pulpit. By that definition, the whole of us, I think, are navigating this sin thing, this sin complex. So I really just want to leave us with that today, that the reason why I keep telling us to return to God, and that a return to God is a return to self, that's not poetry. That is not blaspheme. That is actual mechanisms, right? That is an actual strategy. That returning to God is really returning to knowing yourself, being yourself, thinking yourself. Think about Celie, the whole curse breaks the moment she stops asking permission to exist till you do right by me, right? Like, that is not a redemption story about behavior. She did not get better. She got bigger. She came back to the woman God was making before the world told her to put it down. And so Celie, in that moment where she's kind of cursed, like, no, you have sinned. You have attempted to keep me from being actual me. So that's the curse till you do right by me, right? The curse, and then what seemingly was the curse of Celie and her lowliness, the curse of Celie and her, supposed, not good enoughness. That is broken, at which point she says, no, I'm going with Suge. And Suge, like, honey, like I be, right? Like, it's not really about Suge. It's, I'm going with Suge is Celie's way of saying, I am going to be actual me. I got other stuff to say, but remember or you can go back, I think it was day 6, where I was talking about God. And so here I am all these days later in this Theology in Plain Clothes episode, really just trying to get us to realize that some of what we understood about God isn't actually, like, if we really think it out, there is a better way to enflesh God. Some of the ways that we have understood sin is like this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, this right. And the reality is, what might be wrong for you might not necessarily be the thing that it's not even a thorn for me. The actual issue for me is showing up as actual me. And I believe the actual issue for you is showing up as actual you. I'll say this and then I'm done with this sermon. One of my favorite scriptures is, the earth is groaning out with labor pains, waiting for the revealing of the sons of God. And what I get from that is the earth is in literal pain, waiting for you to show up as actual you. We are in pain waiting for you. It would be a sin to not show up for us.